Welcome to the Tony the Prophet channel for week 13. I hope everybody had a great Thanksgiving. I wanted to get some, unfortunately, I couldn't get this video out. I was traveling during the holiday pot. So I had games that I liked that I would put in the top three. I love the Raiders getting 13 and a half. That was free money. I teased them a 19 and a half in a few places. Kansas City has to be the luckiest team on the planet. Raiders absolutely blew that game. I don't know how Pierre still has a job. He blew it last week against Denver. They were at the 1 inch line. They didn't score. He blew it again this week. Kansas City is just so lucky. And you heard it here first from the Prophet. They are not repeating. They'll play well against Buffalo. They get up for the big games. They cannot get up for the average to lower team. You'll always take them as a double-digit favorite, especially at home. They play with their food. They're not that good. You heard it here first. They'll probably make it to the Super Bowl. Hopefully Detroit or somebody can beat them, or Philly. But anyways, and I love Green Bay. Tua in the cold. It's free money, friends. Okay? 0-8 under 45 degrees. 0-5 under 40 degrees. You saw the game. So many yards for Green Bay after contact. These guys from Miami didn't want to touch anybody. They're afraid to tackle them. These guys were bouncing off them. So just a disgrace. So we could have had 2 wins, but I'll give you the best of the rest. So we move on to Pittsburgh +3. 8-3 straight up. 8-3 against the spread. 4-2 away against the spread. Pittsburgh 9-2 straight up the last 11. 8-2 against the spread, their last 10 versus the AFC North. Tomlin is a tremendous underdog coach. When they're a dog, you have to play them. When Pittsburgh is a favorite like last week, I had Cleveland getting the points. That was free money. You take him as a dog. He's like 61 now, 34-3. They're also a tremendous team off a loss. So when you have the preponderance of the evidence pointing Pittsburgh's way, I'm not saying Cincinnati's going to lay down and die. They got Chase. They got Higgins. Your Burrow's a great quarterback. Zach Taylor's a horrible coach. Okay? And Mike Brown's a cheap owner. He didn't want to spend money on the defense, and you see it. This team would be a playoff team if they could stop somebody, okay? So I got Pittsburgh eking it out, 24-20, 24-23. You're getting the points. It could be close, divisional game, but they're going to win and they're going to cover. And even if they lose, they'll cover with the 3, and that's all you care. So we move on to the next game, Tampa Bay, -6, 7-4 against the spread, 4-1 against the spread this year away. They actually play better on the road than they do at home. Okay, 12-6 against the spread their last 18. You got to remember, this team lost their top 3 receivers, so they're doing this with smoke and mirrors. Okay, Carolina's been coming on, but they're still a bad team. They're 4-16 their last 20 games straight up. They're playing better, but it doesn't matter. Okay, Tampa Bay's the play here. Evans is going to break 1,000 again. He missed all that time with the hamstring. He gets 1 or 2 touchdowns. Art may not get a lot of yards, but he's scoring, and Bucky Irvin's scoring. There's 3-4 touchdowns, and some of these other guys will kick in. I got this as a high-scoring game, 34-24. You may get the late garbage time touchdown from Carolina. And then the last game we like is return the page. I like Tennessee. Getting 6. They're also a tremendous teaser game. I'll talk about that later. Okay, Washington lost their last 3. Look at who they beat, okay, even though they're having a great year, a better year anyways. Cincinnati, Arizona, Cleveland, Carolina, Chicago. They just fired the coach, okay, they can't win. New York Giants twice. Doesn't matter if they play Cutlets, Locke, Danny Turnover, they're still terrible, okay? And New England. And then they beat Tampa Bay. They lost to Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Detroit, and Dallas is coming on a little. So, and they scored 2 defensive touchdowns against them, special teams touchdowns to beat them. So Tennessee is third on the defense is very good. They're third on yards allowed per play, okay? And they've had some bad luck. They had some injuries. I believe Washington's like 30th against the run. So it's Pollard time. And if Levis can unlaunch some balls, it's really important in this game, okay? And Spears is coming back. They'll ease him in, but, you know, they have stopped playing well since Daniel stopped running. He got hit in the ribs about 6 weeks ago, and he hasn't been the same. You can always bet his under rushing attempts and rushing yards since that injury. When he was running, they were great. That's the problem with these RG3 type of quarterbacks, that eventually in the NFL, the defense whacks the crap out of them and they're done. So, anyways, another teaser game, Tennessee plus 12, just cash it, okay? But Tennessee plus 6, I have this like Washington 27-24. Both teams can score. You saw Tennessee scored 32 points against Tennessee. They're coming on. Washington's going the other way. Could be overtime. You still win and cover. Your worst case scenario is they score a touchdown, the other team doesn't, and you still push. So I like it. So MC Hammer plays this week. The games, you can't touch that. Houston against Jacksonville. The line was 5.5. Now it's 3.5. I would have taken Jacksonville at 5.5, but you can't trust either of these teams. Houston not playing well. Jags are like 2-9. Forget about it. Indy and New England, another. Indy has their top 2 receivers out. Can you trust New England? They can't do anything right. They have no weapons. It's just a terrible game. 2.5. I'm not touching it. Seattle and the Jets, another 2 teams. What's his name? DK may not play. Lockett is out, so JSN will do well. But Geno doesn't have his 2 weapons. He always throws at least 1 pick a game. And you trust the Jets. The Jets are reeling, okay? This is a garbage game. Seattle, I would take Seattle. They're the better team. But it's going to be low scoring, And then Minnesota, Arizona. I'd probably take Minnesota at 3. It's 3.5. I don't know about Arizona. Can they come back? They came off the bye. They were terrible. I'm not touching it. Games I do like, I like the Rams. I could see a tremendous game for Stafford. You want to do a same game parlay that they give you these boosts on. Take a Cup touchdown, take a Puka touchdown, and take 2.5. And you got a nice little parlay there. Play about plus 500 or more, plus 600. With the boost, they'll give you 800-900. Make some Christmas money. So I like those. High scoring game with New Orleans. Taysom Hill's in play. Kamara's in play. Garbage defenses, maybe both. So anyways, and then Chargers Atlanta at -1. I would take the Chargers. Atlanta's, for a team with the easiest schedule, they don't do well. Harbaugh will come back against the loss. Buffalo and San Francisco. It's supposed to be a blizzard. It's a night game that makes it worse. But I like Buffalo. San Francisco reeling. Purdy's going to play, but they'll do well in the weather. I don't know if I laid the 6. I would tease it down to even maybe. And then Denver -5.5 against Cleveland. Cleveland on the road a mile high. Denver's been covering. They're like 9-3 against the spread. Knicks is doing well. And so I would take Denver. And then here we go. Here's your teaser specials. The great teaser specials this week. Pittsburgh +9. Tennessee +12. Tampa Bay even. Buffalo even. Philadelphia +9, 9 points against Baltimore. A 30-second pass defense. Brown should go off. Goddard game. Skinny Batman's out. And then Denver plus a half a point. They're -5.5. So there you go. Good luck. Take care, and we'll see you next week.